I picked up a lamp, Goodwill, for $2. So we're going to put a new socket in it. That's glass. So we really didn't want a glass one. The cat knocked this one off the bed. The cat knocked this one off the end table and broke it. So we were looking for something that's metal. Okay, so it was a little tricky to get apart. This was real hard to turn. I just grabbed it with a rag and loosened it a little bit. I had to take this off the bottom. Just peel it off real slow. You can put it back on. But then the bottom was real tricky. There's a weight down there and a whole bunch of washers and a screw. So the screw is the important part. Okay. So see, with these lamps, they anchor that so you can't pull it out of the socket.
Pliers.
Well, I don't know if that would even do it.
Just pinch it.
It looks like this one's glued in or something. It looks like they heat treated it or something. I've never seen that before. So most lamps these days, whenever you take them apart, they're all in pieces. So that's why we wanted to do a video, so we know how to put it back together. So this rod, that's the important part. So we'll have to get a new harp, because we'll probably put a fabric shade on it. So something you have to be careful of is, see how they got these two little wires here? A normal extension cord won't fit up in there. So they make lamp wires. You can buy kits, and the kit has a smaller cord that'll fit up in there. See, I usually just buy an extension cord, chop off the end, you know. It's a lot cheaper. So this one's real small, that's why they got these two wires going up there. So this one's definitely going to be a challenge to get wired. Figures. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Okay, so we're converting a small touch lamp to a regular light. Regular light with push buttons. Putting the cord in the pipe was real hard. I used a little cooking oil on it to make it slippery, and then I pushed it through using a pair of pliers. If you squish it just a little bit like that, it was just enough to get it to go up through. Up at the top, up at the very top, you can see I shaved it off the sides so it would go through the top. The very top of the rod that goes up through here, here, I'll hold it down here and you unscrew the top. Here we go. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, so since we got here, take that part off here at the top. See, so this just went in here like this. Okay. The very top here, had a little piece of plastic stuck in the top, so the pipe looked smaller. So I should have put these threads here at the bottom, because then you could tighten it up more. So because after you get it all put together, you need to tighten it up, and you tighten up the excess at the bottom. But I didn't think of that. But see, one end has a lot of thread, and one end only has a little thread. So I had to take it apart again to put the harp on, so I figured I'd show it to you. I didn't start filming earlier because I didn't know if it was going to work. So you put this on, and pay attention here, come on. And then give me the box over the harp. Lowe's sells different types of harps. This was an 8-inch harp. It was like a smaller harp. So that's this guy here. So the harp would go on here like this. And then this guy would go on here. This goes on here. And if you could tighten that up there, or just push that bottom part up. And then this will tighten up on here. We had it tightened up once, so it worked fine. But we forgot we forgot to put the harp on. Okay. Now I'll grab it down here. And you tighten up that top part there the best you can. Okay. Wait. Yeah, okay. It should be pretty tight. Yeah, okay, good. And then,
But it's not working.
tighten it up here at the bottom. Hopefully it'll tighten up. You won't have to flip it around. So we lucked out. That was enough thread to tighten it up. Okay. Now, we did another video on how to plug these things in. Main thing is one wire is ribbed and one wire is plain. You want the plain wire to go to the brass plug. So the plain wire goes to the brass plug. See how one's brass? It's gold color. And the other one is silver. Let's see here. It looks like the silver one goes inside. So the ribbed wire goes to the silver, and it looks like it goes inside here. And then the plain wire goes to the brass one, and that's wired to the outside. Because the silver wire would be the hot, and you only want that little thing in there to be hot. Yeah, you don't want this outer part to be electrified. So if you wire it backwards, that outer part is hot, and then when you touch the lamp, you might get shocked. But all this is aluminum, so. Okay, so let's see here. Plain goes to the brass. Okay, so now we have to take off just a little wire here. And I got a stripper here. Let's see here. Wind these up a little bit. So when you put those on the nut, on here, put them on clockwise. So when you tighten up the nut, it goes with the wire goes with the tighten. You're not pushing it backwards. So let's see here. Brass is plain. So which one's plain? And then ribbed goes to silver. Usually you can pull more wire through and work on it up here, but because that was such a tight fit going up the pipe, I didn't leave a lot of wire here. Well, see, they had originally wired it with this stuff, and that was actually going up the pipe, and it's a lot thinner. We could have reused that, but this is working fine. And then, you don't need to do this, but I always like to put a little black tape on it so it doesn't, there's no wire sticking out here. Okay, so here's the finished product. We got a shade at Lowe's. It was actually cheaper than Walmart. It was nine something. We went with a darker shade because it's a night light. So a white shade would give off a lot more light. Here's something weird. See how the light only goes halfway? That's that 25 watt bulb that I was talking about. This is one of the first 25 watt LEDs this is one of the first 25 watt LEDs back when they first came out. That bulb's got to be 10 years old. But you can see how it's ribbed down here. And I was using it in the basement for a night light. But she wants 25 watt for this because the 40 watts way too bright. But this gets really hot. I mean, it's really hot. But it gives off.
Must be something wrong with them.
See,
It shouldn't get hot like that.
See, only half the shade lights up. That's kind of odd. So, best laid plans. Whoever invented that one didn't work, right? I guess it would be okay if you put it in like a ceiling light, right?
Well, if you're down here, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not bright.
Yeah. The 40 watts were way too bright. You know, she just turns it on at night. Okay, see ya.